The touring band. Nearly everyone, at one point or another, has an encounter with this migratory species. These dazzling creatures, simply put, live to perform, sometimes traveling thousands of miles a year in pursuit of the endorphin rush of live performance. For some members of this family, the touring lifestyle is not one of glitz and glamour, but of immense trial and tribulation, a hardship willingly borne for the sake of spreading joy and excitement to the band's natural counterpart, the ravenous, yearning fan. An apparently enigmatic species to the average observer, and the only gluttons for punishment in the animal kingdom, the nature of the touring band is undeniably remarkable. Enviable and unenviable at the same time, many of us aspire to join the ranks of these intrepid troubadours. But before jumping in the van, we ought to take a closer look and attempt to understand them first. For the first time in history, we've managed to trap a pair of these extraordinary creatures and ask a few pointed questions.
Mike.
I wonder if there's anybody that lives in this.
The following footage is 100% real and unscripted.
This isn't a joke, okay?
I'm Ed.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two of the 5 members of the 502s and 2 of the team members at Entrepreneur's agency wing, IndieX. We are on day 14 of the tour and it's going incredibly well. We started off in Orlando, we went up to Nebraska, down to Texas, New Orleans, now we're in Nashville, and then we're finishing off in North Carolina.
What number of tours is this for you?
That's a lot. Well, not a lot. This would be like the 5th major, right? 5th or 6th?
Touring history, we went to New York one time, up and back. We went to Europe, we went out west again. We went to Canada, and now we're on this. So 6 tours.
But if I keep losing, I don't want to play.
So, Joe, what is your number 1 tour tip?
Bring a pair of earplugs and bring a sleeping mask. Honestly, if you have those 2, and then recently what I found out is if you bring a pillow and blanket, you literally have all you need for rest. Everything is fine. It doesn't matter where you go. You can sleep. That's important.
A practical tip.
Yes.
My top tour tip is be prepared before you go. Our first tour, we kind of just got in the van and went, and it went well, but rough. This time around, we prepared. We got all of our schedules, our itinerary, our show advancement. Like, being ready to go has made, we're doing 20-something shows, I think, has made this tour way more fun and manageable.
Yeah, I'd agree.
When do you think a band is ready to tour?
I got thoughts on this one. I think a risk of touring is that it's not efficient in any manner when you're starting out. So I think a band's gonna be ready to tour when you have a demand to tour. Like, I don't ever think you should just pack up and start touring because that's how you think you're going to be successful. I am biased, but I think the best way to go about it is doing this marketing, doing the online connection with fans, and then once people are like starting to ask for you to do shows on a consistent basis, it makes sense to start exploring that as an option.
I would agree. And it's more fun too. It's like you get to show up places that you've never been in before, cities you've never been in before, and just there are people there that want to see you and be part of things. So cool.
I think I heard the term one time, the golden goose egg. Nobody wants to go play to like empty rooms for a week in a row. That's not fun. That's not what touring's about. You know, it's like touring's about connecting with your fans.
Yes, absolutely.
It's really challenging for a lot of bands. It is the demise of many bands. There's got to be like boundaries, I imagine.
Well, it's cool because like we start to know everybody's schedule. You kind of understand everybody's space and what they need, what they like. That's, I guess, part of being prepared. But I think that goes alongside with like, when are you ready to tour? And I think it's when you really know you have a cohesive group and you can kind of trust each other's going to do their job and their part. It just feels really, I guess, comfortable because then you're just with your brothers, kind of, or your family as you're touring around.
I think it comes back to the preparation thing. Before we left, we have a document in Google that's like, June 2nd, June 3rd, down by the hour that we put together. It's like, here's when we're leaving, here's when sound check is, here's when we're arriving, here's when you have free time to work out or do work, whatever you want to do. And I think that has helped us. We haven't had any tiffs or riffs or anything like that because everybody knows here's what we're doing and here's my free time. Like, let's avoid someone getting upset because we're leaving an hour earlier, you know, by having this document and like outlining it. So it kind of comes back to that preparation thing.
For sure. Be prepared.
And pick good bandmates. You want to have people you like.
Yes. And play good music.
I think one thing coming back to shows is that the point of touring is to connect with your fan base, and whether that's an old person or a new person, you can only connect with them if you get their information. Like going to a city, playing a show, someone is like, "That's fantastic," and then you never hear from them again. That didn't really do you any good. So in terms of practical things you can do, shows where we play hard ticket dates, I like to just in advance ask the promoter, like, "Hey, we're selling tickets for this show. Can I get the emails afterwards?" Typically they'll say yes. That's great. So you get emails and first names there, and then you put them in your email list and nurture them that way. In terms of a day of thing, something simple is if you have an album launch or something like that, we have a QR code. You scan it, it takes them to the album launch. Now they're on your email list. And then even like broader, I think just like going out and introducing yourself to people. Like if people were there to see you play, like I've never understood the idea of a green room, like sit in the back until you're ready. It's like, go say hello to people, go shake hands. It's almost a little bit like, you know,
counterintuitive.
Schmoozing. You want to like meet people. You want people to know who you are. You don't want to be this distant figure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, focus on the data, focus on the names and the emails, but also focus on that personal connection.
Daddy boy could give you all his love, and you don't know the things.
We hope that if touring makes sense for you, that you prepare, you plan, and you get that data, and go have fun. Meet people, play some good shows, but make it worth your while.
That's right.